Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. My name is Cam, and I want to talk through a couple sports props for this NBA slate that I bet today. I don't usually make YouTube videos. Thought it'd be fun since I have the weekend to do so. I'm a teacher, so kind of only a weekend type thing that I can do. But yeah, I post plays in a premium Discord if you're interested and you like the analysis. But I also post stuff for free on X all the time. I'll link everything down below if you are interested in joining. Before the Super Bowl tomorrow, let's get into some NBA. So I just want to walk through a couple sites that I use, tell you my analysis of the games, and then hopefully you'll get a couple bets out of it and make some money with me. So here we go. First of all, I want to do this Thunder Rockets game. I think there's a lot of value here because the books know that Shea is out, right? And we've had J-Dub out plenty of times this year. And we have AJ Mitchell out. So those three being out, like kind of an unprecedented thing, doesn't happen often, especially with the wing depth and guard depth that the Thunder have still being in. Like Caruso, Joe, Wallace, Wiggins, we got Kenrich, Jay Will, this backup five, all in. I mean, so this is some unprecedented stuff. There's some value here in my opinion. So the first site I like to use is NBA rotations.info. It puts all of their minutes in a beautiful little graph here. Sorry, I'm not screen recording. But you can see minute per minute who comes in, who subs in for who. It's very cool. You can see all the games. I love it very much. So I was looking at the first half minutes of this Orlando Magic game because it had everyone the same, healthy and out other than Shea. So the depth is still there. So I want to look at the first half minutes because if there's a blowout, Isaiah Joe played all 12 fourth quarter minutes. Ousmane Dieng, Chris Youngblood got 6 or 7 minutes. So don't use the full game data, but the first half. So Shea gets his usual rotation, playing 16 minutes, or sorry, not 16, 18 minutes. So we need to supplement those minutes. But I was looking at the other guys. Okay. Dort's minutes won't change. Chet's minutes won't change. Hartenstein might get a couple more minutes here. But it's guys, and Caruso won't change. But it's guys like Aaron Wiggins. Aaron Wiggins played 8 or 9 first half minutes. And he's got to supplement those Shea minutes to score. So his minutes should be way up. Kenrich Williams was the thing that really stuck out to me. He played 6 first half minutes. So it was 5.5. That was crazy to see because Jay Will was playing the backup 5. He got 2 stints there. He was just taking the minutes where Hartenstein was off. So Chet was playing the 4 the whole time. And I expect that to continue here as well. So that's interesting for both of my bets here. So I posted in my Discord at 12:02. I posted Chet Holmgren under 1.5 threes made at minus 150 juice. I also had under 4.5 3-point attempts. If you're on Prizepicks, Dabble, Hot Streak, if you could bet on 365, they have attempt props. So his Houston history is kind of whatever. But Houston was playing double big with Sengun and Adams a decent amount. I watched back the film. That's how he got a couple of his attempts. But Sengun was guarding him. Adams was guarding him. That's not going to be the case today. Hartenstein plays the 5. Chet plays some of the minutes with Jay Will as well. So I don't expect Chet to play the 5 a whole lot. He should be playing the 4 pretty much the whole game. So, Sengun and Capella will take those guys. So Jay Will, the backup 5, might get some threes. But I expect them to be pretty up and tight, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, Garden, Chet on the perimeter. I kind of like his under, points in general, but I like those threes specifically. And then I was also looking at Kenrich Williams because, there's usage and minutes to go around, but I don't think Kenrich Williams is going to be a huge beneficiary of that. I have him for, a couple minute boost. Maybe we put him at 16. And I got his under 14.5 PRA. And that was on Caesars, it was on Fliff, it was on MGM, it was on some exchanges. So, I played that. I just think, if he gets 16 minutes, like I said, he only played 5 or 6 minutes in the first half, and I'm bumping it up to 16. It's just too high of a line. And he'll have the same thing with Chet. His matchup is not good. They don't allow spot-ups. They got athletic wings to guard him, and I just don't see the upside in this matchup for Kenrich Williams. Another thing I looked at was the Warriors. I was watching the Warriors super closely last game, and they did something weird with their starting lineup. They were starting Horford and Draymond, And last game, they only started Draymond, and I expect that kind of to be the same here. They're really short on everybody. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, they are playing some crazy lineups. Like, Melton is their best offensive weapon. It's crazy stuff. But the big thing when Draymond is the only one starting, that means they kind of went away from double big. Horford subbing in for Draymond, and the guy who kind of left out of that rotation was Quentin Post. And so I bet his under 12.5 PR. I also like his under 8.5 points or under 3.5 rebounds, kind of whatever. And this will be solidified if we still have Draymond in that starting lineup alone. Because then Horford's going to come in from Post got lost in the rotation. He had 6 first half minutes. He didn't play in the second half. This isn't a matchup you need him, like Jackson Hayes, the backup 5. DeAndre Ayton isn't some kind of force. So, like, I just don't think they need post size. I think Horford and Draymond do the trick. And if you look at the last game, like I said, like he subbed in for a couple minutes at the end of the first and then the second quarter. I just don't see it for him. I was surprised to see lines for him today. I was really mad at myself for not playing his under last game when I saw the starting lineup. So that was super interesting. King stuff. I looked at King stuff. They're in tank mode. It's tankathon. They're playing all their young dudes a bunch of minutes. And, like, the Kings guys still have, like, their lines are definitely lower, obviously, than normal. But, like, you have Levine and DeRozan sitting at, like, 16.5 point lines. Sabonis and Hunter are questionable. I kind of avoided Westbrook unders because, even if he plays small minutes, he can be kind of a tryhard. But the guys like Clifford are, like, and their young guys are getting all the minutes. I mean, it was a fully closed game, and they just didn't play the fourth. They only played like 5 and 6 second half minutes. So I really like the unders on DeRozan and Levine. I don't know if Sabonis will play or not. It is a back-to-back, so it's a little interesting, a little unprecedented. But I just think it's worth noting that if you put them at a cap of like 25 or 28 minutes, like those lines are pretty high on a per-minute basis, especially when all three of them share the court together. I mean, they steal usage from each other even in that limited amount of time. So I thought that was pretty interesting to look at. Mavs and Spurs real quick, a couple injuries there. Wemby absolutely dominated the other day versus them. It's not a back-to-back, so he should dominate once again. I'm not worried about that. The Mavericks are a mess. They got Bagley coming in. Washington's coming back. Brandon Williams is coming back. So, like, originally, you think if the Spurs is a really bad matchup for guys like Coop and Najee. Coop's been going off, so maybe Najee gets like a back seat here, but Brandon Williams might not play that many minutes. Kind of a shit show. Super interesting stuff with the trade deadline. Lots of value here. Ultimately, I like the ones that I share with you. I use NBA rotations.info, like I said. I use Props Madness. Shows stat lines like this. Really cool. I like that one as well. And I use NBA on off. So I'm loving this. I hope you got something out of this video. And thanks for watching. Bye, y'all. Let's win.